Hello viewers and welcome to M&B Airgun Review. Today we're going to have a little more fun with the Cattleman. I haven't been using it in a while. I've been doing some things with some other rifles and other air guns. We did mount the scope. I have since taken it off and I actually used it on the SIG the other day, but this is actually the scope that's going to be dedicated for this rifle. It is a Bushnell trophy. You'll have to check out my last few videos to get some information on that. Really nice scope, very nice glass. Korean made one, not the Chinese made one. Like the scope a lot. I just set it back up. We're actually going to boresight this today. I'm going to do that with you, but first let me show you something that may be of interest. I got sick of people questioning shots, so what I did is, I'm kind of a cheapskate and I really don't want to keep buying tons of product, well, because they're very expensive. Of course, we all know it, it's an expensive hobby. But what I did is I went to Amazon and I ordered up a camera mount or a phone mount to look through the scope. It mounts right up to your scope. And I did actually mount this yesterday, I'm not going to lie, and I wanted to make sure it all lined up, but I want to share this with you. So you get a nice little bag with it. You get some decent directions that are in English and very self-explanatory. Very, very simplicity. A lot of simplicity right there. Nothing really to it. So let's mount this up in case you guys want to pick up one of these. I think this was right around 35 bucks. And it's by Vest Hunter. Now I have my little plastic screws all in here. You're going to get these little screw knobs. You'll have to put them in yourself. So it consists of this piece here. Then you have an eye relief extension that pushes out and it's numbered, which is nice. If you're using this on different rifles, you'll know right where to put it. And then you have the mount. This is all aluminum, and you have the mount for your phone or whatever device you're using to mount it with. It expands open to, let's see if I can get you how far it expands. You could fit a device in it that's about almost, but not quite 4 inches. So say 3 3/4 of an inch, the device you could sit in sideways. And I'm going to demonstrate this for you. I'm going to grab a device and I will be right back. Stay right there. Okay, for demonstration purposes, we're just going to be using a cheap Cricket phone, an LG. I actually used this with my Samsung S21 yesterday. It worked beautifully, especially in 4K. If you're going to record 4K video through the eye relief, that works really well. You can get right up to that reticle nice, and you can actually use the zoom on your phone. So, without any further ado, I guess I got some stuff. I just turned this on. I got some things going to it. Don't ask me why, because it's not connected to anything, which is very odd. So let's move this over here and let's mount this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your little thumb screws and you're going to put them in, and you want this groove to the top, and we're going to put this right over the scope. Like I said, this was mounted the other day, and I'm going to put it up in, well, pretty much as far as it goes until it touches that insert. And we just take our thumb. Now you can fine tune this. This is pretty much set up already for me, but you're going to need to fine tune this when you do get it. So we're just going to snug this on for now. And what I find is with this particular scope, it's the best if, well, if the relief itself is in all of the way. Now, there also is a knob someplace. Here it is right here. So I'm going to pull this eye relief out, and I probably should have done this to begin with, but I'm going to pull this out. And what this does here is this screws on, like so. Okay? Make sure it's snug, good and snug, because you don't want, because sometimes you might have to have your phone over here, you might have to have it here, you might have to have it here. You do not want it to undo on you. So we're going to slide that back in. And I know mine goes in pretty much all the way. We can fine tune it later. There's a little set screw right here. And then we're going to turn this on. And we're going to get into our video. You can use camera if you like, but I prefer video. Actually, let's make sure the lens is clean. Let's do that. There we go. I'll hook it to video. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to line this camera up with, hopefully, with this camera, with the, make sure you're not hitting any buttons. Make sure you're not in the way. It is fully adjustable. So, now I'm recording, but I want to line this up with scope, which may be difficult to do. Oh, we're almost there. I guess I got it right about right there. And you can fine tune this. I'm doing this as for a quick demonstration, so bear with me. But now that is locked in. Now maybe I can fine tune this a little bit to get a little bit better of an orientation, which is right there. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is take this and I'm going to zoom my camera in, and now I can fine tune this a bit better. If you zoom in, you definitely get a better image. But just get your camera right until you're getting that perfect, almost the perfect circle. Right about right there. Then that's looking pretty good. But I want to actually balance out, make sure the gun's straight. That was my problem. It's not bad. Okay, now I'm going to balance, get the camera just right. Now I'm finicky, so your results may vary, but I'm very picky. So there's this. That is not too bad right there. Okay, now I'm going to turn this around. I'm sure you won't be able to tell because we're inside the house, but you can see how the crosshairs are in the camera. Now, if you bear with me 1 second, I'll cut this video and we'll go over and I'll zoom in. My scope's good to about 200 yards, so I'll see if I can zoom in about 200 yards across the way. So stay right there and I'll be right back. Okay, so what you are seeing right now is a distance through the scope at approximately 300 yards away. Like I said, this is a very decent scope, and I am not zoomed in yet, so I'm going to actually zoom in. This is a tower that's out my building, way across the road. If you're seeing the bar up top, that's just across. That's the crossbar of my window. So we're going to actually zoom this in now, just to show you how great this focus is in using the camera. Now that's a window, and that's at least, wow, maybe more than 350 yards. It's a long piece for sure. Let me get, sorry, my camera just, I don't have it recording, so it does shut off on me. So there we go. We're going to go back to video, and what we do is we zoom this in. There we are. Here we are. And you can see I'm blurring out now, so let me focus. There we are. That is a long, long ways away, for sure. Well, the camera does a lot of the work for this. So you're getting actually a better zoom than you would with just the scope. Definitely. We're going to bring it back. And you can see, we're going to look around a little bit. And that building is a long ways away. Long, 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 long ways away. That is, well, almost 2 blocks. That's crazy. And there's the power lines on that building. Very decent for the money. I'm not, this is actually a very good idea. Whoever came up with this idea for that mount, very nice. Let me get you closer. Up there. And we'll zoom in again. Okay, now let's go to the window with me. and I'll show you the tower we are looking at. Way over there. You can see that. That's a long, long piece right there. So we're very up close and personal. Very neat. Very neat indeed. So I personally think that's a very innovative idea, and I think it works very well, and I actually can't wait to test it at the range. It really reaches out there. But let's do this. How does it work to bore sight? Because I need to bore sight this again. Now, the Cattleman gun bore sighting is a lot simpler than a lot of other rifles to bore sight, because this takes a standard 22 plug for the Boresighter itself. Let me get this over here a little bit. And what I'm going to do, let me turn all this for you. And yes, this is my new Allen shooting rest, which I actually really, really like. This gun is totally empty, by the way. There is no air in it right now. I'm actually going to do a video on how to replace a air tube. So why not, right? Okay. So there's this, and then we find our 22 plug. I'm going to take the barrel end off. Simple, easy peasy, very easy removal. Simply find the correct plug, and this one is it right here. We simply screw that onto our Boresighter. Do not do this with a some of these rifles with suppressors that do not remove. I do not recommend doing this because they can get stuck very easily, as I have found out. Okay, I got a little plastic piece in that I keep over it so the battery does not go dead. I suggest you hang on to that plastic piece when you get it and reinsert it every time between use. We're going to put our laser Boresighter in here. And you really don't need to, make sure she's loose. You really don't need to, that just tightens up just like that. Now that's good and snug. You see that? There's no wobble. That's what we want. A lot of these guns, all these air guns, it doesn't work that way. So these barrel tolerances are really, really good on these rifles. So I'm going to turn this, and as you can see, this is on, and I'm going to attempt to bore sight this using, so I'm not looking through the scope. And what I like to do is put the dot right in the corner of the room. And let's take our turret covers off. This Bushnell has really nice military style turrets. And we're going to have to back the yardage back in on this way in to do this, because we are inside. And I like to put the dot right in a corner. That way I know it's staying focused and I'm not moving the rifle around. I'm going to turn on my camera. Get that right there. Prompted me to do all kinds of things I don't want to do. But let's see what we got here. So there's my red dot that I see. And it's off. So I'm simply going to, now that I have this in place, is drop this down until it meets the dot in the center. So the light is easily, there we go. And I'm a bit off here. Very fine adjustment. Now, there we go. Now I'm dead center. So now I'm dead center with my laser. Now, mind you, this is to get you on paper. Your results are going to vary. As long as the laser is aligned properly, it should be proper, theoretically. But remember, we have pellet rise and pellet drop to deal with, and other factors also. But why don't I bring you over here so you can see the dot. Okay, pay no attention to my mess. Get you over here. You really need to see. There we are. You see that dot right in the center? That is my red dot on the wall. And I'm going to show you, if I adjust this, I'm going to move that. See that dropping now? It's not lined up. Now I'm going to bring it back up right to the dot. So these are actually a handy tool to dial in. And we have equal light all around the crosshair, which is what we want. So that's pretty neat. And I think that serves the purpose very well. And I know we're doing a lot of back and forth here today, but I thought it was worth showing you guys. So once that is done, we simply twist this, pull it out, take our adapter, we don't want to break this, put it back in the box, untwist this to deactivate it, take your little tab that I said, drop it back in, place it over the battery, and that keeps this from accidentally turning on. Simply place it back in the pouch, and you're good to rock and roll. And hopefully, when we get to the range, it'll be on paper. We'll dial it in nicely. I have some ammo that we're going to be trying in this, and I'm going a different route because, well, I like to think outside the box personally. I don't like to be inside that box that everybody's in. So, there you have it, guys. A nice, quick bore sight using a scope camera mount or phone mount, whatever you want to call it, by Vest Hunter. Really, really decent piece. I like it. I think it's going to come in very handy, especially at the range. And I think when we record, and I'll be recording probably these in 4K, so you'll be getting some very crisp, up close and personal shots. And as you can see, this really reaches back there. So we'll have to see how it performs out in the bright light, but I can't imagine it would be bad, especially if I'm at the range and I'm undercover. So that's going to be cool. Thanks for watching M&B Airgun Review. And if you could, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, subscribe, and I hope to keep you up to date on all the new videos coming out. And pretty soon, M&B Airgun Review will have a 25 caliber Cattleman M1 in possession to do some awesome testing. And I can't wait for that one. We'll see you soon, guys. Thanks.